When a warrior steps into the world, the greatest battle is not against others, it is against himself. The tongue can build or destroy. The mood can calm or ignite. Money can free or enslave, and the mind can sharpen or weaken. If you do not master them, they will master you. Discipline is not punishment, it is power. The one who learns to control his mouth, mood, money, and mind walks through life unshaken, carrying a force that cannot be broken. Your mood is the color of your inner world. It paints the way you see life, the way you respond to people, and the way you carry yourself through both hardship and ease. A single mood can turn a clear day into darkness or make a heavy storm feel lighter. Many people believe circumstances shape the mood, but the truth is deeper. The mood is a choice, a discipline, a mastery of self. To control your mood is to control the climate of your spirit, regardless of the weather outside. When anger rises, it does not come politely. It bursts forth like fire. It demands to be expressed. It pushes you to react, and it tempts you to abandon reason. But anger left uncontrolled burns more than it protects. It destroys trust. It leaves scars, and it consumes the one who carries it. The same is true for sadness that is allowed to reign unchecked. It drains energy, blurs vision, and locks the heart in shadows. And excitement, when uncontrolled, can lead to recklessness, decisions made too quickly, and mistakes that take years to repair. Every mood, whether heavy or light, must be guided, not ignored. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. The winds are strong. The rain strikes hard, and the noise is deafening. This is how the mind feels when moods take over without discipline. But imagine also the warrior standing firm in that storm, unmoved by the chaos around him. His calm is not because the storm is weak, but because his spirit is strong. This is the discipline of mood, to feel emotions fully but not be owned by them, to acknowledge the storm but not let it carry you away. The world will always test your mood. Someone will insult you. Someone will betray you. Life will present delays, rejections, and frustrations. If your mood is always in the hands of the world, you will live like a puppet pulled in every direction by forces outside your control. But if you learn to master your mood, the world can throw its chaos at you, and still you will walk steady. This is why great leaders are remembered not only for their victories but for their calm presence in the face of trial. Their strength was not the absence of emotion but the control of it. Mood is also contagious. Spend time around someone negative and you feel the weight settle on you. Spend time around someone joyful and the light seems to spread without effort. When you control your mood, you do not only protect yourself, you influence others. In families, in friendships, in teams, the person who holds their mood steady becomes an anchor for everyone else. They bring balance when others are lost. They bring hope when others despair. This is why controlling your mood is not selfish. It is a form of service. There is power in choosing calm when provoked. There is strength in choosing patience when rushed. There is wisdom in choosing compassion when wounded. And there is mastery in choosing discipline when tempted by chaos. These are not easy choices because the natural impulse is always to react. But the difference between those who rise and those who fall often comes down to this single mastery mood. Training your mood is like training the body. It does not become strong in one day. It requires repetition, awareness, and correction. You may stumble, you may lose control, but each time you return to discipline, you grow stronger. Breath becomes a tool, silence becomes a weapon, perspective becomes a shield. The more you practice, the less power moods have over you, and the more power you have over them. To control your mood is not to deny your humanity, but to refine it. You still feel joy, sorrow, anger, and hope, but you learn to ride these waves instead of drowning in them. And when others watch how steady you remain, they begin to see that strength is not loud, not explosive, but quiet, steady, and unshakable. The mouth is small in size, but its power can shift the course of an entire life. A single word can inspire a nation. heal a broken heart, or ignite courage in someone who has almost given up. But the same mouth can also cut deeper than a blade, wound more severely than any weapon, and destroy relationships that took years to build. Control of the mouth is not merely about silence. It is about discipline. When you learn to master your words, you master one of the greatest forces of human influence. The ancients taught that the tongue has no bone, yet it is strong enough to break bones. That truth reminds us that every word carries energy, and energy once released can never be taken back. Think of how quickly conflict escalates when people speak in anger. A careless insult, a sarcastic comment, or a heated response can turn peace into chaos. Families have been divided, friendships have ended, and opportunities have been lost because someone could not control their mouth. Yet the opposite is also true. Peace has been restored, hearts have been mended, and doors have opened because someone chose to speak with wisdom, kindness, or restraint. The ability to control your mouth is one of the clearest signs of inner strength, because it takes far more courage to remain silent or measured than it does to lash out without thought. Words are seeds. When you release them, they do not simply vanish, they grow. They plant themselves in the minds and hearts of others. And depending on what you have spoken, they either bloom into trust, respect, and inspiration, or into bitterness, resentment, and pain. That is why leaders, teachers, and warriors are trained to choose their words with care. A leader who cannot control his mouth will eventually lose his people. A parent who cannot control his mouth will wound his children's spirit. A friend who cannot control his mouth will break the very bond that friendship is built upon. The mouth is not a tool to be used carelessly. It is a weapon and a gift, and you must decide how to wield it. Silence, too, is part of controlling the mouth. Many people think silence means weakness, but often silence is the highest form of strength. When tempers rise, silence can prevent the fire from spreading. When lies are spoken, silence can expose the truth more clearly than an argument ever could. And when wisdom is not yet formed, silence allows space for reflection before words are released. The one who has learned when to speak and when to remain silent is already far ahead of those who speak at every impulse. Consider the discipline of warriors and monks. They train not only their bodies but also their mouths, because they know the mouth is the first gateway to discipline. A warrior who cannot control his words cannot control his actions. A monk who cannot control his tongue cannot control his mind. That is why in their training, long periods of silence are practiced, not as punishment but as strengthening. Through silence they learn to observe. Through silence they learn to measure the weight of their words before releasing them. The modern world makes control of the mouth even more vital. In an age where messages, comments, and opinions can be shared instantly and permanently, one moment of undisciplined speech can cause damage that echoes for years. A careless post, a reckless statement, or an uncontrolled outburst can destroy reputation, credibility, and relationships in an instant. The world may forgive, but it rarely forgets. And so the discipline of the mouth is more than personal, it is also protection. But control does not mean suppression. It does not mean burying everything inside and never speaking your truth. Control means choosing the right words at the right time in the right way. It means being intentional, not impulsive. It means being able to express yourself without allowing anger, pride, or carelessness to take command. When you control your mouth, you do not lose freedom, you gain power. The person who can speak calmly in chaos, firmly in uncertainty, and kindly in difficulty is someone who commands respect without needing to raise their voice. Your mouth can be the builder of bridges or the destroyer of them. It can be the medicine that heals or the poison that kills. The choice is yours. Every time you open it, to control your mouth is to control the energy you release into the world. And when that control becomes second nature, you begin to realize how much stronger you truly are. Money is one of the greatest tests of discipline in life. It is neutral by nature, neither good nor bad. But the way you use it can either set you free or place you in chains. Many people think money is simply paper, numbers, or coins, but money is energy. It is a reflection of choices, discipline, and self-control. To control your money is to control the direction of your life. When money controls you, it dictates your mood, your decisions, and even your sense of worth. But when you control money, it becomes a servant, a tool that works for your vision instead of against it. Think of the countless lives destroyed, not by lack of money, but by lack of discipline with money. Wealth can be earned and lost quickly when the mouth hungers for constant spending, when the eyes crave more than they need, and when pride demands the appearance of success rather than the foundation of it. A person may earn great amounts, yet remain poor because they cannot master the flow of their money. At the same time, someone with far less income can build security, peace, and even abundance because they have learned control. Money has the power to divide families, break friendships, and lead people into choices they regret deeply. Greed makes people blind. Desperation makes them reckless. The discipline of money is not about worshipping it, but about respecting it. It is knowing that every coin, every bill, every transaction is a reflection of values. Do you spend for the moment or for the future? Do you chase the appearance of wealth or build the reality of it? Do you use money to lift others or only to inflate yourself? These are questions that separate mastery from slavery. The danger of money lies not in possessing it, but in being possessed by it. There are those who work tirelessly but never find peace because their desire for more never ends. Their sleep is restless, their heart is heavy, and their joy is stolen because they believe happiness can be purchased. But happiness is never found in what you buy. It is found in the discipline of how you live. To control money is not about denying yourself every pleasure. It is about balance. It is about knowing when enough is enough, when saving is wiser than spending, when patience is stronger than impulse. Consider the warrior who prepares for winter. He does not eat all his harvest in one day. He stores, he plans, he prepares, because he knows discipline now will protect him later. The same is true with money. Without control, you may find yourself unprepared for the storms of life. But with discipline, you create stability. Stability gives freedom, and freedom gives power to focus on what truly matters. Generosity is also a mark of money control. Those who cling tightly to every coin are not free. They are bound by fear of loss. But those who control money understand that giving does not weaken them. It strengthens them. It creates trust, builds bonds, and plants seeds that return in unexpected ways. The undisciplined man spends to impress. The disciplined man spends to invest in his future, in his family, in his community. In the modern world, temptation surrounds you at every turn. Advertisements scream for your attention, promising happiness in exchange for your money. Status is measured by possessions, and society pressures you to keep up, even if it means sinking into debt. This is why control of money is more difficult now than ever. But difficulty does not make it impossible. It only makes it more necessary. The one who resists impulse spending, who lives within discipline, who sees money as a servant instead of a master, will always stand stronger than those who chase every desire without thought. Money can buy comfort but not peace. It can buy entertainment but not fulfillment. It can buy attention but not respect. Only discipline in its use brings these deeper rewards. The true wealth is not how much you hold in your hand, but how much you hold in your character. If money controls your heart, you will never have enough. If you control money, even a little can become enough, and enough can grow into more. To control your money is to take back authority over your choices, your time, and your future. It is to say no to slavery of impulse and yes to freedom of discipline. And when you stand in mastery over money, you discover that the real treasure was never the coins or the bills. It was the strength you built in learning how to command them. The mind is the command center of your life. Every action, every word, every decision begins as a thought. The body moves only where the mind directs it. Yet for most people, the mind is not a master they control. It is a wild horse running in every direction, pulling them into worry, fear, doubt, and distraction. To control your mind is the highest form of discipline, for it means you no longer live as a prisoner of thought, but as the commander of thought. The uncontrolled mind is restless. It wakes you in the night with worries about tomorrow. It replays the mistakes of yesterday. It invents problems that do not even exist, left unchecked. It multiplies fears and feeds weakness. The undisciplined mind cannot focus for long, cannot stay calm under pressure, cannot build anything lasting. But when you train the mind, it becomes sharper than any blade, stronger than any wall, and steadier than any ground beneath you. Consider how many battles are lost before they even begin, simply because the mind surrendered. A student gives up before the exam. An athlete loses before the competition. A worker quits before opportunity arrives. The body could endure. The skill was enough, but the mind whispered, "You cannot," and they believed it. This is why controlling the mind is not an option. It is survival. Your thoughts are not harmless shadows. They are architects. Every belief you accept begins to build your reality. Tell yourself you are weak, and your body follows. Tell yourself you are strong, and your body finds new strength. Tell yourself you cannot endure, and you collapse early. Tell yourself you will endure, and you discover hidden reserves of energy. This is not illusion. It is the direct connection between the mind and the body. Masters of discipline have known this for centuries, which is why mental training always comes before physical training. But controlling the mind does not mean suppressing every thought. It means observing thoughts without being ruled by them. A cloud can pass across the sky, but it does not control the sky. A wave can rise in the ocean, but it does not control the ocean. In the same way, thoughts can appear in the mind, but they do not have to control you. When anger arises, you can notice it without becoming it. When fear arises, you can see it without obeying it. This is mental control, the ability to separate yourself from the chaos inside. Distraction is one of the greatest enemies of the modern mind. Endless notifications, constant noise, streams of information pulling your focus in every direction. If the mind is always scattered, it cannot build strength. Focus is the sword of the disciplined mind. To sit still, to concentrate on one task, to give full attention to the present moment. These are not small things. They are the building blocks of mastery. Without focus, time is wasted, energy is scattered, and life becomes a blur of unfinished efforts. With focus, even the smallest action becomes powerful. The mind also has the power to turn pain into strength or into suffering. Pain is universal. Everyone experiences it. But suffering is what happens when the mind clings to pain, repeats it, and refuses to release it. Control of the mind allows you to experience pain without becoming trapped in it. It allows you to take failure and turn it into wisdom, to take loss and turn it into gratitude, to take difficulty and turn it into growth. Training the mind requires practice, just as training the body does. Breath is one of the simplest tools. Slowing down, inhaling deeply, exhaling fully, teaching the mind to follow rhythm instead of chaos. Discipline in daily routines is another tool. Rising early, eating with awareness, moving the body, studying with focus. Each small act of discipline in life sharpens the blade of the mind. Over time, the restless mind grows still, the weak mind grows strong, and the scattered mind grows unified. The controlled mind is freedom. It does not chase every distraction. It does not collapse under every fear. It does not bow to every doubt. It is steady in chaos, clear in confusion, and strong in weakness. When you control your mind, you control your reality, because nothing outside of you has more power than the command you give yourself within.